on the same
It's me and my girls for life, my bitches on the ride. We stay be taking flights, you already know the vibes. New York, Curacao, Paris to Italy.
Purchase all
We
tracks
take
today.
time to enjoy life and see what there is to see.
Hey guys, welcome back to Haley Vlogs. So I'm really excited for this video because I've gotten so many questions about like how I travel, what I do, how do I do it so cheap. So I'm gonna answer everyone's questions today, hopefully. And I'm gonna show you guys all the websites I use for flights, for hotels, for excursions. And I'm just gonna give you guys some like pointers and tips when traveling and like what to look out for. Okay, y'all boys, I'm gonna start by like telling you some things, and then I'm gonna actually get on my computer and show you the websites I use and how to work them. So let's get down to business. Number one, travel with a group of friends. Okay, not only will you have the best time of your fucking life, but it literally makes everything 100 times cheaper. There's 6 people in my group, so when we go to a hotel, it's split 6 ways, so we can get like a nice hotel and it be cheap as hell. And I'm just saying, sometimes when you travel internationally, they ask for everyone's passport. Like, when we went to Curacao, like, we had to hide 2 people in the car. Like, I always put down 4 people when I'm looking for rooms, even though there's 6 of us, so it's cheaper because we don't mind squeezing. So if you don't mind squeezing, just put 4 people, hide the other people while you check in, and then there you go. You got a cheap room for 6 people, split 6 ways. Okay, next thing I cannot stress enough, especially if you're doing like a big trip, make an itinerary. Like, don't go there not knowing what you're gonna do every day. Like, I make a Word document for day 1, day 2, like everything we're gonna do, where we're gonna eat. Like, you have to like be planned out so you're not wasting your time there. Like, you want to do something every day and have fun. So like, I highly recommend making an itinerary and know everything you're doing, like food, what excursion, what you're gonna go see. Like, be specific and have it planned out before you even go. Okay, so a really big thing if you're traveling far distances are layovers. If your flight has a layover, you want to make sure it's at least an hour, if not an hour and a half, like at minimum. Because when you get those layovers that are 30 minutes and you're going international and have to go through customs when you get off the plane and travel to the other side of the airport, like, half the time people don't make it and you're gonna be stressed as hell. Like, you're not gonna have enough time. So an hour and a half layovers is a good amount of time, especially if you're going like internationally. Also, you don't really want like the long layovers that are 8 hours. Like, when I'm telling you you're traveling for so long and you have to sit in the airport for 8 hours, like, even if the flight is $100 cheaper, it's not worth it. Okay, you want your layovers to be like an hour and a half to 3 hours long at max. I always look for those layover times, an hour and a half to 3 hours for each stop. I don't do anything more than that. I don't do anything less than that. And I find it to work really good and have enough time for everything. Okay, guys, the next thing is hotels and Airbnbs. Airbnb is like a huge thing now, and I love them. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's a time and place for an Airbnb versus a hotel. So when I go on vacations that is like a big area and transportation is like a problem, or I don't really know what to do in that city yet, like, I like being at a hotel because you can ask the concierge, like, oh, how do I get here? Do I take the bus or the train, or what should I do today? Like, what are some main attractions? Like, sometimes I like being able to talk to people if I feel like I'm not gonna know how to get somewhere and stuff. So there are places, if they're like busy, like in Paris, I liked staying in a hotel because it was so busy and the transportation like confused me. So I like being able to talk to the owner or concierge, like whatever, to get info. Airbnbs I like using on like islands and like stuff like that, because we have our own car when we do that stuff. So it's easy to get everywhere and then just drive back to your Airbnb. But if you don't have your own car and you're using a lot of French, you're using a lot of French transportation, then I recommend hotel. Okay guys, so those were all the little tips I wanted to tell you beforehand. So now we're gonna go onto my computer and I'm gonna show you the websites, how to operate the websites, and how I basically book my trips for flights, hotels, excursions, everything. all my little secrets. So guys, the first place I always look is Google Flights for my flights. It's just really easy to me, and it's honestly what I've almost booked everything with. So to start off, let's just say we're going to Paris. And I love Google Flights because it will tell you like the prices around each date. So try and like choose your dates for your trip around like the better prices, because it will tell you how much it is from one date to the other, and in green it shows like the cheapest prices. So just play around with the dates a little bit. And as you can see, it says like 3:30, but that doesn't include a bag. But that's a nonstop flight, so that's actually really good to get to Paris with a nonstop flight. But I always like to play around with like my airport. So I live in Florida and we have like 3 different airports. So I always try Miami, even West Palm sometimes, Fort Lauderdale. And then sometimes I do multi-city and I switch it around. So I'll come back to Fort Lauderdale but take off from Miami, or start from Miami, whatever. Like I switch it around to try and see which way I can find the cheapest. So always do that, because sometimes leaving from one place and returning to another is cheaper. So just keep looking at all your options is really what you have to do, but I recommend. So the second app I use is Hopper. You can actually only use it on your phone. So let's say we're going to Paris again. So I like this app because in red it tells you the most expensive, orange is like medium, and green is the best prices, and it gives you it for months out of the year of what it's going to look like. So let's pick the cheapest dates in green. Let it load for a little. So it says $390 for this trip, and I'm going to click watch this trip, and that's going to just keep an eye on it, and it's going to send me notifications if the flights go down at any time soon. And you can also actually freeze the price of this. I think they charge you, but to make sure it doesn't go up, you can freeze it for like a few days. I think it's like $5 or something. Yeah, 5 days. You can freeze it for $35 or something. Just an option. I don't do it, but it's nice to have. So the next website I use is Skyscanner. I use this one actually quite often, so we're just going to do Miami to Paris again. I'll just click some random dates. I actually like Skyscanner a lot. I used it first when I went to Greece. Like that's when I found out about it, and that's what I booked my Greece trip on. And I'm just going to add nearby airports there and here, and nonstop flights. If you can get a nonstop flight, that's your best option, trust me. This takes a while to load, but let it all load before you click anything. Yeah, I'm just gonna speed the loading up for you guys. Okay, so you guys always want to look at the times, like what time you're leaving and what time you're getting there, especially because it sucks to get there like 11 o'clock at night and just pay for a hotel for nothing. So I always like to get there early so I can have a whole day there, and then, you know, I feel useful. Now I'm going to switch to one-stop and two-stop flights because it's probably cheaper than non-stop, just to look around. One-stop isn't bad, but as I said, you want to make sure your layover at least has an hour, like at the least, probably an hour and a half, especially international flights. So guys, Skyscanner, Google Flights, Hopper doesn't include some airlines like Southwest, so you have to look at it individually. So let's just try Florida to, I don't think they have Paris. They don't really do international flights, so we're just going to do Puerto Rico instead. But I love Southwest because it allows you to bring 2 checked bags, which literally no airline does anymore. They charge you for each bag, so that's a good thing about Southwest. You get 2 free checked bags. So the departing flight itself, it's $59. That's not round flight. That's just for the one flight, and then you just scroll down to return flight. And you pick another one, it's another $59, so the total is only like $118, but you do it individually. But yeah, I like Southwest. Sometimes it can be pricey, sometimes not, but just always check it out. So guys, Booking.com is a place I always go to for hotels. I'm just gonna keep with the idea of Paris. I already put in a date. I'm gonna put 4 adults in because most of the time you travel with 4 people. That's actually the hotel I stayed at in Paris. That's actually really funny. Don't recommend, actually. Anyway, I always put my budget in because, you know, we on a budget. And then I always want to make sure it's like at least 8 and above the rating. And free cancellation is always good, especially with what's going on right now. So just pick your little filters and start going down. Let's just look at the first one. You want to look at the rating. You always want a good rating. I look at the reviews. And the third thing is location. You want to make sure you're in a good location. Like, that's one of the biggest things. So first of all, you need to find out what's a good location in the wherever you're traveling. So this is in Paris. So you see the hotel blinking. You want to be in that circle in Paris. Like, that's a little far on the out of the circle. I'd probably like to be more in, but anywhere around there is not a bad idea. So location is very, very, very important. Cannot stress that enough. But anyway, yeah, just keep scrolling down, see what you like, look at a lot of options before you book anything. You can always heart something on this website and like save it. Okay guys, the second place I always look is hotels.com. I'm going to keep with the idea of Paris. I'm just going to pick random dates again. And I'm going to do 4 people because that's just what I always put in because there's always a lot of us. I like hotels.com and booking.com. Like, make sure you sign up because you'll get extra, like, points and rewards. Like, on hotels.com, if you stay 10 nights, they give you a free night for hotels. So, I always, like, sign into my account. Anyways, I always put the filters in on here, too. How much I want to spend a night, if you want a pool, how many star ratings. So, that way the options are minimal and you don't have to go through every single hotel. So, again, if you look, it gives you the ratings, like very good, good. You also want to be paying attention to the miles from the city center. Again, I said location is very important. So just search through all your options. And we'll just click on this one to look at. Oh, see, it's 15 miles from the city center. Just kidding, let's look at something else closer. Okay, this one says 2.7. It's a 7.8. That's not that great of a rating. But we'll just read the reviews and stuff. So again, you always want to look at like everything. Right here it tells you hotel information, what's around, the map, room choices, overview. Like, look at everything. Everything. And you, again, look at the reviews on the location, the pool, the cleanness. Definitely look at the reviews. It will tell you everything. But well, guys, the last thing I use a lot is Airbnb. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what it is. But I'm just going to keep with Paris, the same dates. I'm going to put it to 4 people. So Airbnb, does stays, experience, adventures, like excursions. I've never booked anything like that. I've only done like hotels and apartments and stuff. But so it tells you all the prices and the total prices and all the location. Again, I said we want to stay in that center. So just click on it. You guys know the deal with this. Look at all your pictures. You want to scroll down and make sure the prices, because they charge you a lot for cleaning fees, service fees. So you want to make sure the total price isn't too outrageous. Make sure you look at all that. And just again, reviews, more about the place, everything it has, the sleeping arrangements. Always look at everything. This place doesn't have no reviews. Like, that's kind of sketchy to me. So I wouldn't necessarily book this place, but yeah, I think you guys all know Airbnb pretty well, so I'm not going to go through it, but so guys, as I said, it's really important to have an itinerary. So Pinterest is like my #1 go-to for this. I looked at Paris itinerary and I'll just look at everybody's different itinerary because everyone does something different. So it's kind of cool to like pull bits and pieces from everyone else and make your own itinerary, because like you'll find secret little spots that people went to that are cool. So Pinterest is definitely one of my favorite things to like find out cool things to do. TripAdvisor is what I use for like excursions and to look at restaurants and shopping in the area. I love TripAdvisor. That's where I book most of my excursions. So let's look at like some things to do in Paris. It gives you like, you can browse by category or the most like popular. Like we did the hop on hop off bus. That was cool in Paris. But love TripAdvisor. I always book my excursions on there. And then you can look at the restaurants, because I don't know about you guys, love to fucking eat, and especially in different countries to like try different things. So I look at all the reviews, the best restaurants that I want to like try, especially like desserts and stuff. It's always good to know about that stuff before you go and have it all planned out. And then the second thing I use is Expedia. I just use this for excursions. I already put in Paris and stuff, so I would just compare the prices to TripAdvisor, and like just see if they have different excursions or things to do. I kind of just go back and forth and look at them both, but nothing special.